We'll get started, and I invite you to come onto your backs. So we're starting today on our backs. And let's bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out. If this is not comfortable for you, you're welcome to modify it. But if it is, then join me in this Supta Baddha Konasana reclining bound angle pose. And I like to place my hands on my thighs in this posture, but you're welcome to rest your arms on the ground or overhead or on your body. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, please do so. Just signaling to your attention that the focus is inward. And that's not to say that the thoughts aren't going to interrupt the attention on the breath and the body, but maybe we can just have that intention to stay connected to our bodies for this hour. And so maybe just start by scanning your body and seeing what you feel here. Maybe there's something about this posture that's evoking a sensation that you're aware of. Maybe there's some sort of stress that you're dealing with that is showing up in some form, maybe a shallower breath or some tightness in the chest or the throat or the belly, or maybe the jaw. Just check in with what's here. And then we'll turn our attention specifically to our breathing and start to breathe more deeply into the belly. Feel the expansion of the belly as you inhale, and the contraction and softening of the belly as you exhale. And then after this next breath into the belly, breathe into the ribs. So you'll let the breath fill the belly and then take more air in to expand the ribs. And then finally, we'll breathe into the belly, into the ribs, and then all the way up to the chest. Okay. And then we'll lift the knees. Hi, Ming. And let's cross the right leg over the left leg. So not in a figure four, but just like you're sitting cross-legged. So you're stacking your knees, crossing the right leg all the way over the left leg. We'll bring the hands behind the back of the head and check to see how lightly this can be. So we want the hands just to support the head, just to keep the strain out of the neck, but we don't want to be pulling the head up with the hands. We want to be using our strength to do that. So we'll start with level 1 and take a breath in, and then exhale and just lift the head up. Feel your upper body coming up off the ground, and inhale down. Elbows out to the side, exhale, coming up, inhale, lowering down. Again, try not to use your arms. If the elbows are facing forward, you're probably pulling yourself up with your arms instead of just using your hands to support your head. Okay, you're more like that, maybe 2 more. And then we'll take it to the next stage. On the next exhale, lift the knees and lift the head, coming into a bit of a crunch, and then lower down. And exhale, crunch, inhale down. And just one more. Okay, release the hands. And then we'll do just the legs so the arms can rest alongside the body. And then we'll take the legs up just like we did before. And then straighten that left leg out. And then bring it in. And straighten the left leg out. Let it hover over the floor. And then bring it in. And straighten it out. And then bring it in. And straighten it out. And then bring it in. One more. And then let that left foot come to the floor. Okay, ready to bring it all together? Bring the hands behind the back of your head. Exhale, lift and crunch. Inhale, straighten and lower. Exhale, lift and crunch. Exhale, straighten and lower. Good. Continue like that. Nice deep breath. Keep the leg hovering over the floor on the inhale. Two more. Okay, and release down. And take the feet wide apart and drop the knees to the right. Just opening up that left hip flexor and a little stretch of that left quad. You might want to place the right foot on top of that left knee for an added stretch. Nice deep breath. Feel what it feels like from the inside. Keeping the eyes closed is a good reminder of that. Okay. And then release the right foot, lift both knees. Ready to do the same thing on the other side? Okay. Left leg crosses over. Hands behind the back of the head. This time we're going to do the first stage a little different. So instead of crunching up and bringing your ribs toward your hips in a traditional crunch, I want you to aim up toward the sky. So we're gonna get those upper abs a little bit more here. So we're not gonna lift the head, lift the chest, and come down. So you might want to think about leading with your chin rather than rounding and bringing the chin in. You want to lift the chin up, and it's just working those upper abs a little more than what we were doing. Maybe you can feel that. So we're going to start today's class by trying to target all of the abs. Okay, last one. Beautiful. Now you can release the hands and exhale, pull the knees in. Oh, sorry. And crunch up and inhale, lower. Pull the knees in and crunch up and inhale, lower. Then continue like that. Are you using your arms or are they just supporting your head? Two more. Okay, come down, release your hands, and we work just on the legs. On the exhale, bring the knees in. On the inhale, straighten that right leg, hover it over the ground. Exhale in, inhale straight. And one more. And rest the foot down. Give yourself a little break for a moment. And then we'll bring it all together. Hands behind the back of the head. Elbows out to the side. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, straighten the leg, lower down. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, straight and lower. Uh, one more after this one. And release the feet down. Take the legs wide apart, really wide. Walk those feet as wide as they'll go with the knees bent. Drop the knees to the left, or just drop that right knee and bring your left foot on top of it. Your foot should be wide enough so that the knee is straight down from the hip. Take some nice deep breaths. Give yourself lots of oxygen. Restore those muscles. Stretch out your body with your breath. Okay, release the left foot if you are using it. Lift the knees to center. And with a show of hands, Are we ready to do more with the abs, or do we need a break and maybe come back to them later? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Thumbs up more, thumbs down later. Okay. We got a bunch of warriors here. Excellent. So we're going to take that left knee and bend it and drop it out to the side like a half butterfly. We're going to send the right leg up in the air. Drop the left knee out to the side. So just kind of let the foot come in and let the knee drop out. So bring the foot in toward the groin, just like a butterfly, but just half. Yep. And then the right leg up. Okay. Now try to stabilize your hips and your whole body and that left leg and isolate the movement in the right leg and make big circles with that right leg. Don't let anything else move. Use your breath. The next time the leg comes up, reverse directions. Nice deep breath. And then one more. The next time the leg comes up, hold there and slowly with control, lower it to the ground. Then bring that foot in. Knees out to the side and lift the left leg up. Straight up into the air. And big circles around. Try not to move anything else. Even that right leg that wants to dip and lift, don't let it. Keep it stable. You have to use your strength to keep the movement limited to that leg that's in the air. Next time the leg comes up, reverse directions. Deep breath. It's going to help. I, for one, would not be able to do this without my deep breath. It's everything. Next time the leg comes up in the air, hold there and slowly lower it down, stretching long through the foot. Get straighten that right leg. Stretch long for a moment. And then we'll just do one last one here. Okay. Send both legs up in the air. Probably saw this coming. And then we're going to do both and they're going to mirror each other. So sometimes we take big circles with both legs. Sometimes we do like a helicopter. This time we're doing the latter. The legs are going to move in opposite directions, not as one unit. Go ahead and make some big circles. Coordinate with your breathing. Last one in this direction, and then reverse directions. And one more. And we're done. Good job. Pull the knees to the chest. Okay. Then bring your feet down. Let's open those hip flexors. I know mine are certainly feeling it from those. So we'll just take a bridge, bringing the hands to the ground beside you. Push into the feet and lift the hips. Press your tailbone toward your pubic bone. Maybe roll your shoulders under, feeling the weight on your shoulders, not your neck. Press down through the feet and really lift. Press down through the arms and lift the ribs and chest. Slow breath, belly, ribs, chest. Beautiful. Lower slowly, one vertebra at a time. Okay. And then rock yourself. Bring your hands to the ground, fingers pointing forward. And then roll your shoulder blades in toward each other. If this becomes too difficult, you can come onto your elbows or you can even come onto your back. Okay. Extend your legs. Breathe nice and deep and slow. If they're shaking, good. And release down. Send the legs wide apart. Bring the hands to the ground behind you. Lift your buttocks and try to move them forward without changing your feet placement, just to widen your stance more than you thought you could. Good. Send the arms up. Pull the shoulders down. Press down through the thighs and out through the heels, flexing the feet. Flex your feet. Feel the energy going down the legs and out through the heels. And let that same energy that's moving down also lift you up. Lift through the crown of the head. Slow, deep breath. And then hinge forward. Not all the way, just a few inches. And hinge forward. And release the hands. And if you're able to hinge forward some more, go ahead. Stay where you are is fine. And on your next inhale, come up, reach up. Exhale the arms down to the outer legs. Help them to the front. Shake them out. And then come over onto hands and knees. So we're going to warm up the spine. You're welcome to do a simple cat and cow or do a chaturanga with your upward dog and downward dog, or just do upward dog and downward dog without the chaturanga. Just make it your own. You can even like do a cow pose and a downward dog if you don't like upward dog. Just find your own way. Move with breath. And then if you're in any variation that doesn't include a downward dog, come into a downward dog. If you're in the one that does include a downward dog, stay in your next downward dog. And then pivot the heels to the left. Push into your hands and fold toward your thighs. Let your head drop down. Push your hips back, especially that right hip. And pivot the hips to the right. Push through your hands. Drop your head. And bring the heels to center, feet parallel to each other. And we're going to lower the knees and let them hover over the ground, almost like a plank, but with the knees down, but not all the way touching. So we're going to exhale and come into downward dog. We're going to inhale and lower to a plank and drop the knees almost to the floor. And then exhale, downward dog. Inhale. So when you lower the knees, also lower the hips so that it becomes like a plank, but with the knees down. Okay. And then the next time you inhale, come into plank and hold there. Good. And then lower the knees and straighten the knees. And lower the knees and straighten the knees. Use your breath. Next time the knees lower, hold there. Not touching the ground though. Hovering but not touching. You didn't think I could see. Almost there. You got this. Great. Lower the knees and we'll come into 8 points pose. So the chest is going to come to the floor, needs to be far enough away from the knees to come down. The hands come beside the shoulders. The chin is on the ground. The feet and knees are on the ground. That's your 8 points. So the knees are bent, the butt is in the air, the chest is on the ground. If your chest is not on the ground, you need to modify your posture by moving your chest further away from your knees. This is not a puppy pose. All 8 points touching, buttocks in the air. Breathe into it. And then straighten your legs, coming onto your belly. Take a few breaths to really sink down into the ground. Feel the fullness of your breath. And then bend the right leg. Reach back for the foot and pull the heel into the butt. Press the tailbone down. Press down, down, down. Okay, now bring the left hand around the foot too, if you can. Interlace the fingers around the foot. If you're not able to reach your foot, grab a strap or a towel and place that around your foot and then grab both ends with each hand. Okay. Exhale and push your hips and pelvis down into the ground. And inhale and kick the foot up, lifting the chin off the floor. Kick the foot back, pulling the shoulders back. Breathe into your chest. Heel is pushing away from the buttock now. So we're in a half bow pose. If you like, you can lift that left leg off the ground. Either way, doesn't matter. Feel your breath peeling your ribs off the ground. And relax down. Release your hands, rest on either cheek. Feel your breath breathing with the earth. And then we'll bend that left leg and reach the hand back for the foot. and pull it in. As you pull the heel to the buttock, you want to press the tailbone down. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll take that right hand around the foot as well, interlacing the fingers or using a towel or a strap around the foot and grabbing hold of both ends. As you exhale, push the hips into the ground strongly, and then inhale and kick the heel away from the buttock and lift your chin and chest off the floor. Let that foot pull the shoulders back, open the heart, roll the gaze up, breathe deeply into the chest. And again, that right leg can be lifted or stay on the ground. If it's lifted, send energy out through the toes. And relax down, release your hands, rest on your other cheek. Feel your body breathing with the ground. Almost like you're breathing in the ground. And then giving back to it. Conversation with the earth through breath. And then we'll come into the full posture, bending both knees, reaching back for both feet, head center. Press the hips and pelvis into the ground. And then inhale and kick the feet up and back. If you're able to grab your ankles as opposed to your feet, you can flex your feet and push back away from you through the toes. And then as you inhale, let the breath rise up into your chest and let it lift your chest higher off the ground. And then when you exhale, instead of lowering that, lift the legs higher. Feel it from the inside. Close the eyes if that's comfortable. And release down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press your hips back to your heels. Arms extended overhead. Keep your hands where they are. Lift your buttocks off your heels. We'll come into a downward dog just as a transition. Just lifting up when you're ready. And then we'll step the right foot forward. Leave the back heel off the ground so that it's facing straight ahead. And then push back through that right thigh. Get it nice and straight. Okay. Let's bring the left hand onto the left thigh. Send the right arm up. Push back through the right foot. And then inhale and lift through the pinky, right pinky. And then exhale, steer that arm over to the left a little. So you want to be a little bit in a backward bend and a little bit in a sideward bend. Notice where the breath goes in this shape. Activate that right leg, super straight. Okay. Leave that right arm up, bring the right heel down, and we'll take side angle pose. Bringing the arm down onto the thigh, index finger to thumb, right arm overhead, gazing up to where the wall meets the ceiling behind you. Maybe bend a little deeper into that left knee. Left arm is on that left leg. Right arm is overhead. Push back into that right foot. Beautiful. And then release the arm. Bring the hands down, coming into downward dog just as a transition. And step the other foot up. And then lift back up. So your right foot is in, your left foot is in front. Sorry, your right foot is in front. Your left foot is back. Keep the heel off the ground and push that left thigh back. Super straight in that leg. Right hand on the right thigh. Left arm up. Reach up through the pinky, get length. And then exhale, lean back and to the right. Let the breath make its way through the tightness. David, watch that right knee. It's going in. Good job. Thank you. Good. Bring the back heel onto the ground. Bring the right arm onto that leg, index finger to thumb, left arm overhead, gazing up and back. So if you push forward with your right foot, at least in my body, that shifts weight into my back foot. And then once my weight is in that back foot, I can stretch out from there through my arm a little more. You know, like every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So pushing back into the foot helps lengthen forward through the arm. Okay. And then bring that left hand down, step the back foot forward. Good. Bend the knees, rest your ribs on your thighs, lean back into your heels and walk your hands forward. Let your head drop down. Where does the breath go? Okay, next inhale, reverse swan dive. Take the arms out, up, reach up. Bend the elbows, bring the thumbs to the upper back. Push down into the feet and lift the chest. Lift the elbows, slide those thumbs down. And release the arms down. And set the feet a little wider apart, not super wide, but just a little wider than hip width. And then lift the right heel so that your body is lined up over your left foot. Send the arms out and take some deep breaths and feel your body expanding as you breathe. Relaxing as you breathe out. See if you can stay in that breathing pattern, focusing on a spot on the ground, and then lift that right leg, drop the left arm, and try to come sideways. Keep breathing, expanding and contracting. Nice, you guys. And come up and release the arms down. Roll the shoulders. Okay, feet are wide apart, hip a little wider than hip width. Lift that left heel, letting the weight hover over the right leg. Feel everything grounding through the leg into the earth. Send the arms out. Take a nice deep breath, expand. Feel everything contracting back in toward the center. And then go ahead with your eyes fixed on a spot on the ground. Hinge to the right, lifting the left leg, dropping the right arm. Breathe, expand and contract. And release down. Good. Roll the shoulders. Beautiful. And then step the feet wide again if they're not already there, pointing the toes out wider than the heels. Let's bend the knees deeply, dropping the tailbone. So the navel pulls in, the tailbone drops. Yep. And then cactus the arms coming into our goddess pose, David feet wider. Yep. You don't have to come super low. It's not a squat. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay. Then we're going to take it into a rapid twist. So you're going to inhale to the left, exhale to the right, and it's going to be a rapid breath, rapid movement. Let your eyes go all the way. Inhale, step center, take the arms overhead, come into steeple mudra, hold the breath, index fingers reaching up, lift up from the base of the spine, lift up from the navel. Press the tongue to the roof of your mouth, roll the eyes up to your pointed fingers, holding the breath as long as you can. When you need to exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Now the weight is even on the toes and the heels. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, lay your belly toward your thighs. Release the head down. Push the feet in, lift the thighs up. Let the weight of the body release toward the floor as you exhale. Okay. And then bend the knees deeply, lowering onto the buttocks and coming all the way onto your back. For the rest that you deserve. So you can start with your knees bent and lift your hips, tuck them under, release the legs and shake them out. If you have something to cover your eyes, you can use that now. And then let your arms rest out away from the body. Take a breath in through the nose like you're filling your body. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the body heavy into the ground. Again, inhale through the nose. As you exhale out of your mouth, drop the lower jaw, let the lips part, relax the mouth. Inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the activity of the mind, bringing your attention to your breath. Focusing so intently on your breath, there's no room for anything else in the mind. And if something else comes, just let it go. And then we'll also let go of the breath. So all the efforts to breathe deeply or slowly vanish now. And it's just the breath however it wants to be. And the mind just rests in the movement and the feeling of the breath with a real sense of connection. Let there be an intimacy with the breath. Deeply relaxed. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Breathe into your heart. Move fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath. Stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest. Rocking side to side. Feeling the ground massaging your back. Cup center, bring the soles of the feet together, the palms together, rub hand to hand and foot to foot. Roll onto your side, resting your head on your bottom arm, resting your body on the ground. Just taking in this interbeing with the earth. Feeling her support. Maybe appreciating yourself for the ways that you support her. Hopefully you do. And then come up to sitting when you're ready, any way that you're comfortable. Sinking down into the sit bones, lifting tall through the crown of the head. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste.